Ahmad Munawar for MMA Governor has been referred to the Parliamentary Committee on Public Accounts for further consideration. The Parliament approves to exchange legal assistance with Sri Lanka. And the Maldives and China signs letters of exchange on the feasibility study for the redevelopment of Malé and Vilimale Roads project.
Welcome to the English News. I'm your host Malak Ahmad Fayaz. Now for the news in detail. The National Award for Public Service will be given to 138 recipients this year. The National Award for Public Service nominations was selected by the National Awards Committee, which was appointed by President Dr. Mohammad Muizzu. The President recommended 70 individuals who have served the state for more than 43 years to the National Awards Committee. The awards will be presented during the official Independence Day function at the Social Center on July 26th. The National Award for Public Service is presented to recognize the competence, integrity and dedication of government employees who served the state for more than 35 years and made significant contributions to the development of their respective institutions. The award will also be presented to any individual who meets the requirements for the award, regardless of the position worked for the state. Last year, the award was presented to individuals who served the nation, for individuals who are retired and those continuing to work for 45 years of service. This year, however, President Dr. Muizzu stated that the award will be presented to individuals who served the nation for more than 43 years. Maldives and the American Bar Association Rule of Law Initiative ABA-MROLI holds comprehensive discussions aimed at bolstering collaboration with non-governmental organizations, NGOs.
During the meeting, Vice President Latif underscored President Dr. Mohammad Muizzu's unwavering commitment to collaborate with non-governmental organizations, NGOs, noting the pivotal role NGOs play in the nation's advancements. The Vice President acknowledged the significant contribution of the migrant workforce to the nation's progress. He also reaffirmed the administration's dedication to resolve the obstacles encountered by the migrant workforce, citing recent decisions made following deliberations at the Cabinet. Meanwhile, ABA-MROLI representatives outlined their substantial efforts in the Maldives since being established in 2021. They emphasized ongoing initiatives to strengthen institutions through collaborative programs addressing critical issues such as anti-human trafficking, anti-corruption, anti-money laundering, financial compliance, healthcare, and legal services for the immigrant workforce. Furthermore, they spotlighted collaborative endeavors with law enforcement agencies and the judicial sector to drive reform. The discussions between Vice President Latif and ABA-MROLI members included identifying potential areas of mutual interest for future collaboration. The meeting concluded with a mutual commitment to work together on initiatives crucial for national development. ABA-MROLI, registered in the Maldives, operates as part of the American Bar Association Rule of Law Initiative, promoting justice, economic opportunity, and human dignity through legal frameworks.
The name referred by President Dr. Mohammad Muizzu for the position of the Governor of the Maldives Monetary Authority, MMA, Ahmad Munawar, is referred to the Parliamentary Committee on Public Accounts to further consideration.
Munawar, who served as a former Minister of Finance, was referred for the post of MMA Governor to the Parliament by President Muizzu following the dismissal of Ali Hashim from the position following recommendations of the Parliament. The Parliament also opened for public opinion on the nomination of Munawar to the post of MMA Governor. As such, the public can send any complaints they have in regards to Munawar to the Parliament email before 2 p.m. July 24. The mail should contain the full name, permanent address, and the contact number of the sender. Munawar is currently appointed to the post of advisor to the Minister of Finance. He had previously served at MMA as well. He will be appointed to the post of MMA Governor at ministerial level if approved by the Parliament. Hashim was dismissed from his position, citing failures in fulfilling the responsibilities associated with the role of MMA Governor. The Committee on Public Accounts noted severe shortcomings during Hashim's tenure, coinciding with the period of economic decline. The committee also noted that the MMA had not advised the government since November 17, 2023 on the key objectives outlined in the MMA Act. Under the Maldivian constitution, the president has the authority to remove the MMA governor based on the advice of parliament. Likewise, the appointment of a person to the post also requires the approval of the parliament.
The Parliament of the Maldives approves to exchange legal assistance with Sri Lanka. The Parliament approved the establishment of an agreement on assistance and cooperation between Maldives and Sri Lanka to prevent criminal offences following the case submitted by President Dr. Mohammad Muizzu to gain the approval of Parliament to establish such an agreement. The President decided to gain the approval of the Parliament to sign the treaty between the Government of Maldives and the Government of Sri Lanka on mutual legal assistance in criminal matters after discussing the paper submitted by the Minister of Foreign Affairs to a cabinet meeting. The purpose of this agreement is to maintain the long-standing relationship between the two countries and to provide assistance and cooperation to each other in the prevention of criminal offences. Under this agreement, assistance shall be provided in criminal matters to the widest extent possible in accordance with the laws and regulations of that country and in accordance with the provisions of this agreement. Work on the agreement began in 2011. Maldives and China holds discussions aimed at strengthening the bilateral ties between the two countries. The extensive discussions were held in Beijing between Minister of Foreign Affairs Musa Zamir and the Minister of Foreign Affairs of China, Wang Yi. During the meeting, Minister Zamir reiterated Maldives' commitment to the One China principle and to the comprehensive strategic cooperative partnership agreed upon during President Dr. Muizzu's official visit to China in January. The discussions covered a wide range of topics essential to the continued enhancement of Maldives-China relations. Furthermore, Minister Zamir highlighted the significant milestone of over 50 years of close cooperation between the Maldives and China and emphasized the commitment to elevate bilateral relations further. The minister thanked China for its substantial support through the Belt and Road Initiative BRI, which has played a pivotal role in the Maldives' socio-economic development. Briefing the Chinese foreign minister on the economic and fiscal situation in the Maldives, Minister Zamir emphasized the importance of carrying out diligently the fiscal reforms as announced by President Dr. Muizzu. The minister further requested China's support to the Maldives in carrying out the reform program, which will foster consumer and investor confidence in the Maldivian economy, which would then positively impact the economic resilience. The meeting concluded with both parties reiterating their commitment to exploring new avenues for cooperation. Minister Zamir expressed heartfelt appreciation for China's continued support and looked forward to further solidifying the political and social-economic cooperation between the Maldives and China. Minister Zamir was accompanied by Minister of Finance Dr. Mohammad Shafiq, Minister of Construction and Infrastructure Dr. Abdullah Muttalib, Ambassador-designate Dr. Fazil Najib, and senior officials of the Government of the Maldives and the Embassy of the Maldives in China. Maldives and China signs letters of exchange on the feasibility study for the redevelopment of Male and Vilimale Roads project, one of the key pledges of President Dr. Mohammad Muizzu's government. CA Maldives was established under the Chartered Accountants ratified in 2020 to establish and promote the accountancy profession in Maldives by regulating matters relating to the accountancy profession in accordance with international norms and rules. Auditors and chartered accountants play a leading role in strengthening the financial sector of the country. However, only a few qualified Maldivians are seen in the field. As such, speaking to PSMNEWS, President-elect of CA Maldives and Council member Mohammad Halim disclosed that there are currently more than 4,000 foreign accountants working in the Maldives. Noting that the statistics of the Maldives Inland Revenue Authority, MIRA, shows that 75% to 85% foreign accountants eligible for income support allowance, Halim stated that this is an economic loss for the state. He stated that the number of qualified Maldivians in the field should be increased. Halim added that the agency, in collaboration with the Ministry of Higher Education, has provided more than 350 scholarship opportunities in the past 4 years. He disclosed that an additional 100 scholarships in the field of accounting have been opened this year. Application process for the scholarships is now open and the window closes by the end of July. CA Maldives aims to shape the Maldivian financial system to international standards and maintain the interest and confidence of foreign investors. The agency is tirelessly working to produce Maldivian auditors and chartered accountants and currently only offers the opportunity to work in this field to Maldivians only. The Maldives engages in discussions with Exim Bank of China to secure financing for economic projects. These discussions took place as part of Minister of Foreign Affairs Musa Zamir's ongoing visit to China. During the visit, Minister Zamir met with Chairman of Exim Bank of China, Wu Fulin. In the meeting, Minister Zamir updated Chairman Wu on the latest economic and financial developments in the Maldives, including the financial reform policies recently announced by President Dr. Mohammad Muizzu. The discussion also covered potential financing for major economic projects in the Maldives and explored opportunities for joint collaboration. Minister Zamir is accompanied by Minister of Finance Dr. Mohammad Shafiq and Minister of Construction and Infrastructure Dr. Abdullah Muttalib. Throughout their visit to China, the Maldivian delegation has also held official talks with Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi, aiming to strengthen bilateral relations. The official visit to China, which began on July 20th, is set to conclude on July 24th. The Maldives engages in discussions with the Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank, AIIB, to secure funding for development projects. The talks were held during a meeting between Minister of Foreign Affairs Zamir and AIIB President Jin Lee Quinn, who was visiting China officially. During the meeting, Minister Zamir expressed gratitude to the bank for his support in particularly for the Greater Mali Waste Energy Project. He also explored with President Lee Quinn potential funding opportunities for upcoming construction and renewable energy projects aligned with President Dr. Mohammad Muizzu's development agenda. Minister Zamir was joined by Minister of Finance Dr. Mohammad Shafiq and Minister of Construction and Infrastructure Dr. Abdullah Muttalib. Their visit to China, which began on July 20th, was at the invitation of Minister of Foreign Affairs Wang Yi and is scheduled to conclude on July 24th. Minister of Housing, Land and Urban Development Dr. Ali Haidar Ahmad highlights the need for sustainable finance for small island developing states, SIDS. He made the remarks while representing the Maldives at the 4th International Conference on Financing for Development, FFD, held in Ethiopia. Speaking at the conference, Minister Haidar highlighted the necessity of enhancing the current financial assistance systems for SIDS and providing sustainable funding. He also stressed the importance of supporting development projects and capacity building in these island nations to help them address various challenges. At the same conference in May, President Dr. Mohammad Muizzu advocated for increased financial support for island nations. He also underscored the need for easily accessible funding to help these countries advance in their development efforts. Minister of Education Dr. Ismail Shafiu announces that the government will be providing the opportunity for all students from 23 various schools to pursue their higher education A-levels. The announcement was made by Minister in his address at the Prize Day 2024 Center for Higher Education, CHSC. The ceremony celebrated the outstanding achievements of the students who secured top places in their academic pursuits. First Lady Sajida Mohammed graced the ceremony and presented awards to the distinguished students who achieved first place. Speaking at the ceremony, Minister Shafiu stressed that the biggest challenge the government faces when providing the opportunities to study A-level is that several students completing their secondary education do not meet the required academic standards. Hence, the minister revealed that the government has decided to provide the opportunities for all the A-level students of 23 schools, depending on the capacity of the schools. Highlighting that the current regulations allow students who obtain a pass in 2 subjects to study A-levels, he disclosed that opportunities will be provided for those who obtain a pass in 1 subject as well. He further noted that while some critics may say that this is pointless expenditure of the state, the government believes that it represents an investment in enhancing youth skills and bolstering national productivity in the long term. During the ceremony, a total of 167 students were presented with awards for their outstanding performances in the higher secondary examinations in 2023. Maldives Food and Drug Authority (MFDA) states that the bulk importation of medicine will facilitate the availability of prescribed medications sustainably. This initiative aims to address shortages of medicines, especially those required to treat chronic diseases. Noting that medical drugs are often imported and sold in private pharmacies, MFDA revealed that the medicines imported often fail to meet demand, eventually leading to inflated prices. Aiming to address this issue, the government has started to implement measures to ensure that European quality medicines are available in the Maldives at affordable prices, in line with President Dr. Mohammad Muizzu's commitment. Providing insight on the ongoing works to resolve the issue, senior pharmacist of MFDA, Aisha Jalila, stressed that some vital medications required in critical situations were not available in the Maldives. Jalila explained that this is due to the relatively low demand for such medication in the nation and companies are unable to provide for them. However, she emphasized the ongoing works, adding that arrangements have been made with the United Nations Development Programme UNDP to secure consistent access to these essential medications in the Maldives. The medications and vaccinations required to treat chronic diseases in the Maldives are often required in small quantities and are difficult to store for extensive durations. Although State Trading Organization STO provides this service, insufficient supply of the medicines poses significant disadvantages to the patients diagnosed with the disease. Additionally, it can be noted that the prices of medicines in the Maldives are significantly higher in the Maldives compared to the global and regional markets. Therefore, the availability of European quality medicines through the UNDP promises a sustainable solution to these issues. The billionaire founder of South Korean Kakao is arrested, a Seoul court said, accused of manipulating stock prices during the acquisition of K-pop powerhouse SM Entertainment.
Founded in 2010, Kakao has grown to be a sprawling empire and owns everything from a major online bank to South Korea's largest taxi-hailing app, plus Kakao Talk, the country's biggest messaging app, which is installed on 90% of phones. It also has a vast entertainment portfolio encompassing music labels and talent management, which it augmented significantly last year by securing a controlling 39.87% stake in SM Entertainment, becoming its largest shareholder. Prosecutors accused Kakao of buying $173 million worth of SM shares on 553 occasions in February 2023 at inflated prices in a deliberate effort to thwart a takeover bid by HYBE, the agency behind K-pop megastars BTS. HYBE had purchased a 14.8% stake from SM's founder Lee Soo-man and proposed buying more shares at 120,000 won each, but withdrew its attempt after SM's stock prices soared. The Seoul Southern District Court approved an arrest warrant for Kakao founder Kim Bom-soo, citing risks of him fleeing and destroying evidence. Authorities have also questioned other Kakao executives. At an emergency Kakao Group meeting last week, Kim said that it was a pity that the situation had occurred while group members are working together to renovate management and innovative AI-based technology. He later said the charges against him were not true. Experts said that the detention of the firm's head could cause problems for the company.
Southeast Asian foreign ministers gather in Laos for talks on the disputed South China Sea and the conflict in Myanmar, with top diplomats from China and the United States slated to meet on the sidelines.
The three-day meeting of the 10-member Association of the Southeast Asian Nations, ASEAN, starts in the capital, Vientiane, on Thursday. Antony Blinken will meet Chinese counterpart Wang Yi on the sidelines of the event, at which he will discuss the importance of adherence to international law in the South China Sea, according to the U.S. State Department. Beijing claims their waterway, through which trillions of dollars of trade passes annually, almost in its entirety, despite an international court ruling that its assertion has no legal basis. A series of clashes between Philippine and Chinese vessels at Flashpoint Reefs in recent months have fueled fears of a conflict that could drag in the United States owing to its mutual defense treaty with Manila. Asian ministers are expected to issue a joint communique after their meeting on Thursday.
French League One club Marseille announces the arrival on loan of Danish midfielder Pierre-Emile of Premier League side Tottenham Hotspur.
The 28-year-old midfielder has joined the club on loan with an option to buy after passing his medical. The midfielder has 81 caps and played in all 4 of his country's matches at Euro 2024, where they were eliminated at the last 16 stages by host Germany. He began his professional career at German Bundesliga giants Bayern Munich before moving to England when he signed for Southampton in 2016. After 4 years on the South Coast, he joined Tottenham in August 2020 and went on to make 184 appearances for the club. Marseille have not specified the financial terms, but several sports media have reported a compulsory purchase option of around 13 million euros. The 28-year-old is the latest arrival in a busy close season for Marseille and joins midfielder Ismail Koun, defender Lilian Brazier and former Manchester United forward Mason Greenwood as well as new coach Roberto De Zerbi at the Stade Velodrome.
Once a month, conservationists at Cambodia's breeding center for endangered species visits the turtle sanctuary to check up on a newly born baby black marsh turtle that hatches successfully for the first time in their captivity, providing hope for its endangered kind.
The baby turtle hatched in May and yet to be named was born to parents who had been rescued from the black market. It was successfully bred at the Angkor Center for Conservation of Biodiversity in Siem Reap Province, which houses 29 other critically endangered animal species, totaling 1,180 altogether. Every month, the still tiny reptile gets taken out from its enclosure for health check. The center aims to reintroduce it into the wild after 4 to 6 years, when it would be less vulnerable to natural predators. Categorized as endangered by the International Union for Conservation of Nature, the black marsh turtle is a Southeast Asian freshwater reptile species that has been significantly affected by the illegal wildlife trade for consumption and traditional medicine, as well as the loss of their natural habitats. Females lay only 1, sometimes 2, relatively large eggs at a time, but can lay up to 3 or 4 eggs per season. The center notes that the hatching of this baby turtle is crucial for saving the endangered species from extinction and also has a positive impact on the surrounding environment, as it will help maintain a healthy ecosystem. There are currently 6 adult black marsh turtles being nurtured at the ACCB, comprising of 4 males and 2 females. The reptiles reach sexual maturity at around 5 to 6 years of age.
That's all the news we have for today. Thank you all for watching.
කාවා විහිහාරු දශකයේ අන්තිම වොලිබෝල් මුබාරක් දිවෙහි රාජ්‍ය කිර්ගිස්තාන් නේපාල් ශ්‍රී ලංකා මුබාරක්ගේ මෙච්තා ඔම්මෙ දුවහක් වෙස් STV වගුතු